Gotta go inside?
Yeah, come on. If you get one in that's not written on and that has the, what do you call it, the jacket on it and stuff?
Right. You have to show me.
All right. I have. All right, ready? Here. This is where I usually find the children's books and the folklore books. And I found some more rooms. So you have to come and...
Oh, more rooms.
Yes. Really beautiful rooms. It's like somebody's office. This is the photographs.
Oh, let me see here.
Isn't this like a... Wouldn't you love to go live here in this room?
Look at the typewriter.
Look at the Curtis prints. Those are gorgeous.
Tell me about your video. Are you making a video?
Oh,
We just
this
recording
is a home
our
video.
trip to Ann Arbor, our annual pilgrimage.
Good.
And every year I come to the bookstore and he goes next door to the hobby store.
Good. Where are you from?
Massachusetts.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back for another visit.
Well, maybe we'll make one more visit. Maybe in August or more. Maybe not.
Of course, the weather's fabulous. Of course, it's wonderful in Massachusetts this time of year, too.
It's all right. It's not. You never can tell when it's going to be. It's going to be hot, cold. But this is really average weather. This is just nice
That's
weather
great.
right now. Yeah.
Did a lot of family stories, family histories that are in his volumes that accompany the photographs. He did some fabulous things that are still relatively unknown.
Yeah.
No one ever looks at it. And that's the first book I've seen that really shows his interest in folklore
I
and
know.
the stories.
It's a wonderful book. Yeah, and there's a lot more there, huh?
Yep.
That whole Indian studies is just waiting for everybody to take in. Except a lot of the problem is that the Native Americans say, oh no, you can't touch that. That's our writings.
Did you read Louise Edwards' books?
No.
Did you ever read those? Oh, they're fantastic. She's an American Indian poet who's from Minnesota and North Dakota, and her books are fantastic. And she brings the Indian world back to life in a way that no one has done. And
Not even Kevin Costner.
she brings the mythology back to life.
Yeah.
In other words, if the natural world has its own spirits, she puts them in a book.
Yeah. I got to do this next. After I finish up with my seminar on King Arthur this summer, I'll have to get into this.
Did you like Dances with Wolves?
Oh yes.
Wasn't that beautiful?
It was gorgeous. It was, and the best thing about it is that it's so popular.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah,
I never
that's
thought that would be a
I
popular
know.
book.
Yeah, a few people would go see it. That's.
Are you going to the antique fair this weekend?
No, we have to go back to Syracuse on our way home because our daughter's at school there.
My sister lives in Syracuse.
Oh, really? Oh. That's not a very exciting place compared with Ann Arbor. I just think Ann Arbor's wonderful.
Yeah, Ann Arbor's fun. Creating books of this quality. So they're handmade books with handmade photographs. And then they were bound in
Put this down.
at Blackwell's in England. But that's a beautiful photograph. That's one. And then of all of Curtis's photographs that were printed in the volumes, probably only 60 or 60 at the most were printed on tissue. So here's a light little tissue print glued to the corners of the page. And there's someone dressed for a ceremony. Some were hand-colored. There were probably 35 or 40 plates in the entire group that were hand-colored. There's one of someone dressed for a ceremony. So when you read the Girl Who Became a Ghost, those stories would have been included in with the photographs in the first presentation. Oh, these are the famous turtles, the sacred turtles that he photographed. He had to pay $500 to persuade the priests into letting him photograph them. So he was being bribed, I think, at the time. So there's a very broad effort to show Indian culture, saying it's the last days. There's a very beautiful thing.
Now, the Native Americans themselves don't really know, or do they read? They don't read this much. They're not into.
I don't know.
They could
I can't
be.
say. Some of Curtis's best defenders are American Indians.